Hey friends and fiends, and welcome to Taco Gaming. My name is Connor, and today I'm going to talk about 7 Days to Die, a zombie survival crafting game that has seen some massive changes in the last year alone. It's developed by the Fun Pimps and is their only game as of yet, so keep this in mind during the review. The premise of the game is that you wake up with a note that hints that you got into some minor trouble and are now left with only your undergarments to face the zombie apocalypse. Now you must scavenge and craft to not only survive the elements, but defend yourself from the zombie masses, with a little something special happening on the 7th day. When you first open up the game, you're met with an incredibly long loading screen, and if you haven't already played the game before, you might think that it crashed upon startup, but no, just wait. Just a little longer. Oh, and don't click out of the game window to browse anywhere else because then it really will crash, and you have to wait. Again. If you haven't played the game before Alpha 18.4, then you may not be as impressed with the graphics as those of us who have been playing a while are. Take my word for it. The shadows and coloring are phenomenal from where it started, and while there's still room to improve, this is a major step in the right direction. The game also runs much smoother than it has in the past, which I am eternally grateful for. Unfortunately, this isn't really saying much as the game does still lag at times, and the frames do still stutter. And still, this is so far from where it was just a year ago. I think my biggest relief was when I noticed getting plant fibers is no longer a guessing game, and it seems as though if I punch near the plants, I do have a broader window of where I can succeed in collecting them. I cannot even begin to explain just how frustrated I would get when trying to collect plant fibers only to wind up hitting the ground and collecting dirt instead, despite my crosshair being aimed directly at the plant. So to not have pockets full of dirt really eases my soul while playing this time around. However, this cool new upgrade comes with a few drawbacks, because now I'm struggling to understand the proper distance from zombies and myself. While they can swing an arm and manage to hit and stun me, my range of attack at the same distance is apparently too short, or perhaps just slightly off to the side. It makes for aiming and doing proper damage and unneeded difficulty when you are standing right in front of the zombie. The opening tutorial seems to have condensed some too, which I do like, where before you would need to make a plant fiber hood, shoes, pair of gloves, shirt, and pants. Now you are only required to make the shirt and pants alone. It's nice to not be forced to make those extra pieces, even though it does seem like such a minute thing. The tutorial also no longer forces you to make 3 awkward wood blocks and place them in random spaces, but instead just the one. Again, a small change, and yet I found such euphoria in it. The animal animations are questionable to say the least, but for a small team and this being their first and only game, I'm going to assume that they are aware and that their personal priorities are focused in other faults of the game, which there are plenty of, my personal least favorite being the spatial audio. There's nothing more terrifying than hearing a zombie right behind you, only for you to turn and see that there's nothing behind you at all, but actually on the ground at a greater distance than you first thought, or slightly to the left, or even a good few feet away from you. The poor spatial sound only works well at night when you are stuck in the pitch black and not able to see all around you, making for trying to pinpoint where exactly you should be running from a mystery. I do wish that it felt like there were more to do during the night when you're first starting out, but maybe it's just me that has to hide like a chicken in a dark, secluded room because I'm a baby and afraid of everything. And also I didn't plan well for my first night in the zombie apocalypse. I will say, preparing for the first night is made a tad more difficult though when you factor in that the final tutorial objective is to locate the traitor, which is typically enough distance away to where by the time you reach him, it is just about to be dark and you have little to no preparations made. Still, with all that is wrong with the game, I can't help but find it charming, even more so when played with friends. While there is a lot that is wrong with the game, all of it seems to be capable of being overlooked, and I think a huge part of that is just how different it is from survival crafting games while also being so incredibly similar. With 7 Days to Die, you can choose to play on your own or with friends or with strangers. You can roleplay in certain servers, or you can just aim to survive. The options are almost endless. The game is just fun and is built on a solid idea foundation. So even with all the things that are messy, I find it hard not to enjoy the game while playing it. There are still a lot of things to work on, which is something you should expect in a game that is still early access and only in alpha. That said, it shouldn't really be something that you should expect from a game that's been in early access since 2013. Personally, I give 7 Days to Die a 6 out of 10. The game is improving, but it isn't spectacular just yet, and has far too many issues for being in development for 7 years. I give kudos to the dedication, and this is a game I definitely enjoy. I just wish the developers would have waited on releasing this as early access for anyone to play. Where the game is at right now, I feel is a perfect place to have released it at early access, which is also why I'm only dishing out a 6. For a game that has been out as long as this one has, I don't think it should still feel like an early access game. But let me know what you guys think below. Do you still enjoy the game? Have you played it before Alpha 18? And what would you like to see the game be improved on the most? Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Sorry to disappoint, but that is not actually the end of the video. I went to get some more footage because I did repeat a lot of the footage in the original piece, and found that they had actually updated the game since I recorded and created this review. And with this update, I can't play it. It crashes. Every single time I try to open it, I can play it for maybe 10 minutes and then it crashes. It'll crash on startup. I cannot play this game anymore, which kind of makes everything that I've said before null and void. I do still love the game, but I can't play it now. Like, it just isn't playable. So that kind of sucks. I'm really sorry that this kind of came out at the wrong time. I don't know if it's just a bug from them putting out the next experimental beta, but this is a bit annoying. Not because of the video that I made, but because I enjoy this game and I'm so tired of it crashing. So that definitely brings my score down to about a 4, because if you're going to continue to update the game, you have to make sure there is a stable build for us to play. I don't get why you would release experimental builds for everybody, but you do, and this is the frustrating part. I cannot play the game now. I can't enjoy your product. So now my new score is going to be a 4 out of 10 as of right now. That's obviously capable of changing if they do wind up building a stable version, but as of right now, I cannot open the game. I can't play longer than 10 minutes. The lag and frame skips are god-awful. I can't do anything. So unfortunately, I'm really sorry that I had to kind of take back everything I said before. This is now a 4 out of 10, or yeah, 4 out of 10 game for me. I can't do anything with it. So I mean, I really should give it less than 4, but I know that they're capable of fixing it. But if this is how they're going to continue to run their game, and if this is how they're going to continue to build their game, now at this point, it's not even worth a purchase in my book. I don't think you should purchase the game as it is right now. Wait for it to be fully released, or at least more mature than it is now. Sorry to say, but thank you again for watching. I'm sorry for this last interjection, and I'm sorry that it kind of took away everything, but I wasn't expecting an update right before I put out the video. But with that said, let me know what you think. Let me know if you're able to play the game at all. Maybe it's just my computer. I don't know. I've tried everything though, so we'll see.